There we go. Okay, so I was just checking in with seeing how people's energy is tonight. So we might do a bit of a mix. So I'm feeling something a bit gentle, but then warming us up a bit because it's so cold, isn't it? So I think something that keeps us nice and warm. I've actually got a jumper on, so my aim is that the jumper might come off if we get warm enough. So let's start seated on our mats and just check in with ourselves and just do some nice breathing. Okay, so come and sit in a comfortable position, whatever that is for you. Ideally cross legs if you can, and feel free to sit on a cushion or against a wall, and just allow your hands to rest palms up on the backs of your knees. And then, oh, if you haven't muted yourself, let me just come and mute you as well. Bear with me. Brill. Okay, so just focus on a nice straight spine. And as you sit here and you put your hands on the backs of your knees, almost just feel yourself leaning forward slightly. Allow your sit bones to lift up behind you, and then sit them back down, and then roll your pelvis under like you're trying to lift your tailbone up. So you're slightly sinking back into your lower back. And then from there, lift out of your sit bones. So you sit up from that slightly curved under position. So it really roots you down into the mat. So just play with that a couple of times if you need to. Just kind of have a wiggle, and then lengthen up from that space where you feel the tailbone just curling underneath you. Palms of the hands facing up towards the ceiling on the backs of your knees. And if you haven't already done so, close your eyes, or if you don't want to close your eyes, just have a soft gaze looking down at the floor. And then bring your awareness back to your sit bones. And allow your sit bones to be as heavy as you can make them. And see if you can release any tension out of the hip creases. So you might notice that if you connect to that space, you might notice your knees dropping slightly. If you don't feel anything change, don't worry about it. Just have a sense of thinking about letting go of those hip creases, and you might notice something shift. And then bring your awareness up your spine, into the shoulder blades. Just feel the shoulder blades coming together slightly. So like you're lifting the chest up to the ceiling. And then feel the length coming up through the back of the neck. The chin is just nice and level with your chest bone. And then bring your awareness to your breath. So take some nice long in-breaths through the nose. And a nice long out breath through the mouth. So inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, and just feel your body relaxing. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through your mouth, relaxing a little bit deeper. And last one, inhale through the nose. Exhale through your mouth. And just allow yourself to completely relax as much as you can right now. And then just breathe however feels good for you, keeping that nice long breath if you want to. In and out through the nose, or just breathe. Just be aware of the body breathing. And then slowly opening your eyes. Take your right hand to your left knee and take your other hand behind your back. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, and exhale, just gently twist looking over your left shoulder. And then inhale, coming back, bring the arms with you. Take the left hand to the right knee, right arm behind, Exhale, twisting, looking over your right shoulder. And just repeat that twice more. So swapping the arms, inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. And then moving straight to the other side again. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Coming back to center. Take your right arm up alongside your ear, and then just slowly take it over to the side. Now keep that right sit bone really rooted down towards the mat. Inhale, coming up, and take it straight to the other side. Root the left sit bone down, so you're reaching out from there. Inhale, coming up, and do one more each side. Move with your breath. Inhale, coming up, reach up with both arms. Exhale, reach forwards. Now keep your sit bones firmly rooted onto the floor and just allow the hands to come out as far in front of you as you can. And then push back into those sit bones even more and see if you can lengthen your arms a little bit further along the mat or along the floor. And just let your head hang between your arms. Nice long deep breaths. So we're going to hold this here for at least 2 more breaths. Inhale, sliding the arms back towards you. Take the arms behind you. I'm going to turn to the side, fingertips behind. Inhale, lift the chest. Let the head lift up towards the ceiling. 4 more deep breaths here. So notice that the breath will move into the chest. So think about lifting the collarbones up as high as you can with each in-breath. Really pump the breath into the chest. Squeeze those shoulder blades behind you. Straighten the arms if you can. Good, and inhale, coming back up. Okay, from here, just come over onto all fours and just check your alignment. Shoulders above your wrists, hips above your knees, nice tabletop position. And just press down into the tops of your feet and your shins here. Push really firmly. And also spread your fingers wide, push firmly into your hands. And just notice how active your core and your legs feel. So your face is looking straight down at the mat. Just hold that there for about 3 more breaths. Nice long inhale and exhale. So really think about spreading the shoulder blades across the back and really push firmly downwards. If you think about the action of coming up into down facing dog, it almost feels like if you tuck your toes now, you just lift straight up there. That's how much opposing force is going down into the floor. Good, just allow your left leg to move out behind you so that the ankle moves straight behind the knee and the right leg comes out to the side. And inhale, take your right arm up to the ceiling. Keep that sense of downward pressure through that left shin and your right foot. And reach up. Again, nice long deep breaths. Exhale, take your hand to the mat, allow the left leg to come in, and then shoot that right leg out behind you so that the ankle is at hip height. Take a couple of breaths here. So really steady yourself through that left shin and through both hands. And then exhale, bring your knee to your head, head to knee. Inhale, take the leg back out. And let's repeat that a few more times. So head to knee. Inhale, push the leg away. Exhale, squeeze head to knee. Inhale, pushing away. Let's do 2 more. Good, okay, so I'm going to turn around, you stay where you are, we're just going to do that on the other side. So right leg pivots behind you, left leg comes to the outside, and inhale, take your left arm up to the ceiling. Again, really firm connection down through the right shin and through that left foot. You can turn to look at the hand if you want to. If this is too much on your wrist, feel free to make a fist, just to give your hand a bit more support on your wrist. Or you can even put your hand on a book or a block or something. Stay connected to your breath. And all the time, just make sure your bottom's not sticking out behind you. Keep your hips pushing forwards, so everything's active. You really feel this through the side body, through the core. And then exhale, take the hand to the mat. Right foot follows in, and then push the left leg away. So get a nice firm position with that left leg hip height, and let's hold here for a couple of breaths. Push firmly down through your right shin and through your hands, straight arms. And then exhale, head to knee. Inhale, extend away. Again, exhale, head to knee. Inhale, extend away. And let's do 3 more. In your own time. Flow with your breath. Good, and then when you're finished, bring your knees underneath you again. Take them nice and wide on your mat, toes still touching. Bring your bottom back to your heels and stretch out through your arms for extended child's pose. Let your forehead come to the mat. And again, just allow yourself to settle into your breathing. And from there, just lifting your head, coming up onto all fours again. And find that connection again through your tabletop position. So shins firmly down into the mat, tops of the feet firmly into the mat, hands, fingers spread wide, looking straight down. Find that space between your shoulder blades. Then from here, tuck your toes, and a little challenge here. We're just going to lift our knees off the floor about no more than 2 or 3 inches. So keep having a sense of pushing down firmly into the mat and out through the heels of your feet. If you feel that gets too much, just bring the knees back down to the floor. But if you can hold it there for maybe 5 more breaths, keep going. If you want to have a little break every now and again, then do so. But just feel those legs firing up, feel your core firing up. Keep pushing into the hands so that you lift up into the space between the shoulder blades. And then when you're ready, inhale, lift those hips high into your first down dog. And let's just gently pedal 1 foot at a time onto the mat. So really stretch out through the back of each calf muscle. Take a few breaths each side and then switch it to the other one. And just keep listening to your breath. Allow your breath to guide you. Allow it to be strong and steady. Good, and then from there, just walk your feet slowly towards your hands and come into a forward fold. So keep the knees bent so that you've got your rib cage onto your thighs, and let your hands hang heavy. We're in a ragdoll position. And just here, again, be mindful of the breath, but also bring your awareness to your feet. Spread your toes as wide as you can on your mat. Make as much connection with the mat as you can. And then feel the weight going down evenly between the heels of your feet and the bone area just below your toes. Push firmly down. And with each in-breath, just imagine breathing in through the soles of your feet and lifting the breath up the backs of the legs. And with each out-breath, imagine the out-breath flowing down your back and out through the crown of your head. So breathing in through the soles of the feet, up the backs of the legs, over the buttocks, exhale, down through your back and out through the crown of your head. And just keep with that vision in your mind for a couple more breaths. So don't push or strain here, keep the knees bent as much as you need to. Allow the back to relax. Good, from here, put your hands onto your hips and slowly we're going to uncurl. coming all the way up. Crown of the head comes up last. Good. And if you're a little bit further down your mat, just walk forward slightly, bring your feet together. And then from there, inhale, take your arms wide, reach up, look to your fingertips. And then exhale, imagine opening up your arms like a goalpost. So if you see me, I'm here, and I'm slightly leaning back, so I'm lifting and opening the chest. And then exhale from there, swan dive all the way down towards your feet. And then inhale, come halfway up. So imagine someone's putting a tray on your back. Exhale, flow your hands back down, head to knees. Inhale, coming all the way up. Bring the hands together. And then again, make those goalposts with the arms. Lift and open your chest. And then exhale, swan dive all the way back down towards the mat. Inhale, halfway tabletop position with the back. Exhale, head to knees. Inhale, come all the way up, reach up. And exhale, hands to prayer position. Inhale, reach up again, look up. Exhale, let's swan dive straight down this time. Hands to the mat, head to your knees. And this time, step your right leg back. We're going to go into a lunge position. Bring your back knee down. So if you want to work more deeply, keep more of a distance between the knee and the front ankle. If you want to work a bit less deeply, just bring that knee forward more, and you won't get as much stretch in your hip flexor. So wherever's good for you, inhale, either keep your hands onto your thigh, or you can swoop your arm up towards the ceiling. And then just sink as low as you can into that front hip flexor. So if you're here, that's okay. Just feel a nice stretch, or you can keep your hands on your hips. So work as deeply as you wish to, looking up. And then bring your right hand down to the mat. I'm going to turn to face you and allow your left arm to reach up towards the ceiling. So a reverse lunge position. Reach up. And exhale, take your hands back to the mat. Tuck your back toes and step your left foot back to meet your right foot. And again, just take a moment here to pedal out through the backs of the legs on your down facing dog. And if it feels okay for you, maybe lift the left foot off the floor completely and just cross it behind your right ankle. And that will really deepen the stretch through that right calf muscle. And then swapping, crossing the right foot behind the left. Maybe you'll feel the heel of the foot squeeze down towards the mat. Nice deep stretch through your calf. Good, bring both feet back and walk your hands forward again towards your hands and back into that ragdoll. Nice deep forward fold. And again, we're going to hold here for a few breaths. So whenever we spend time in forward folds, you may have heard me say this before, but it's really introspective. So if you've been spending a lot of energy today on other people, this is a really nice way just to reconnect with yourself, be with yourself. It's a very introverted place to be and a very nurturing place to be, just to say hello to yourself. And then when you're ready, pop your hands back onto your hips, bend your knees a little bit more. Inhale, rolling all the way back up. And hands back by your sides. So inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, swan dive, we're coming straight down again. Hands to the mat, head to your knees. And this time we're going to step your left leg back and bring the left knee down to the mat. And then you choose again, whether you back off slightly on the lunge, or you're working more deeply into your hip flexor. Again, choice, keep your hands on the hips, or inhale, take the arms towards the ceiling. And again, another choice, you can look up if that feels good for you. Just make sure you don't put too much pressure in the back of the neck, or keep looking straight ahead. Nice, long, deep breaths. And then bring your hands back down to the mat. Left hand plants onto the floor, right arm comes up towards the ceiling. Now, if that's too much of a twist through the upper back, you can always keep the hand onto the lower back. Should have said that before as another option. Keep pushing down into the right foot and the left hand. Good, exhale, bring the hands back to the mat, tuck the back toes, and step back again into your down facing dog. Take some nice long deep breaths. Option here to come down to extended child's pose, if that feels better for you, or you can transfer down there at any time. And then very slowly walk your feet towards your hands again. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, take your arms wide, reach up and look up. And exhale, prayer position. Well, let's go again. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Take your hands to the mat. Draw your head to your knees. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And let's step that left foot back behind us again. Come down into that lunge position. And choosing whether to work deeply or a little bit less deeply. Stay here and breathe. So we've come back to the same side as we were working on last time. And then we're just going to do what we did before. So option, inhale, take the arms up, or you can stay down with the hands onto the thigh. Keep spreading space between those shoulder blades. Reach that energy up through your fingertips. And then allow your gaze to come back to the mat. The left hand comes to the mat. Inhale, swoop the right arm up to the ceiling, or take the hand onto the lower back, your choice. Keep breathing. Good. Exhale, take the hand back towards the mat. And then from here, we're going to go into pigeon pose. So you can walk that right foot down towards your opposite knee, and then just bring that knee forward slightly. So with pigeon pose, you might find you end up staying here. The key thing to look for is that both hip bones are pointing straight down towards the mat. If you can wriggle the leg long behind you and come down onto your forearms, then do so, possibly even all the way down with the head to the mat. And you should feel a stretch on the outside of your right buttock. If you're not feeling a stretch and you want to work a bit deeper, you can bring that right foot a little bit higher. Just keep an eye on your right knee. And then again, just get back to both hips pointing down towards the floor. So you just rest where you are. I'm just going to come and have a look at the camera and see if I can see any of you. Good. So just make sure that the hip isn't, you're not rolling the weight onto one side more than the other. You want both hip, the weight in both hips to be even. Good. From what I can see, that all looks lovely. I'm going to stay here for a few more breaths. So this is a really nice yin pose to be in. I say it's really nice. Depending how deeply you're working, it can feel blooming painful at times. But just work with your breath. There's so many muscles going through the outside of this, this bony joint up here on our hip. It's like it can get really jammed here and sticky. So it can feel quite uncomfortable sometimes to unstick. But that's why holding these postures is really nice. Does a lot of good work in there just to free up some of that stickiness. And something else you might want to focus on while you're here is almost like you're trying to roll your right hip socket away from your right knee. So again, if you think about when we started in our seated position and thinking about curling the tailbone under slightly, you almost want that feeling going on here. It can sometimes help to put your thumb in your hip crease area and your fingers towards your buttock and almost feel like you're dialing your buttock down or your sit bone down towards the floor. And that just helps you engage this space a bit deeper. Okay, and then to come out, just bring your hands back to the mat. Slowly walk your hands back towards your knee. So you can come back onto all fours, or if you want, you can just tuck the back toes and lift straight into your down facing dog. And just say hello to your right leg there. And again, feel free to pedal out through the legs. Do what feels good for you. Play with putting one foot behind the other again, if that felt good for you. Just open out the backs of those legs, nice and strong. Okay, we're not going to come all the way back up this time. We're going to go straight to the left side. So from here, lift your left leg to hip height, look to your hands, and you're going to step that left foot through to the hand. So you can always pick it up and help it there, and bring the back knee down and find yourself back in your lunge on the left side. I'm going to turn so I can face you. So working nice and deeply. Option to have hands on the hips, or inhale, take the arms up towards the ceiling. Option to look up, straight ahead. You know what to do, just work with what feels good for you. Keep finding space, space in the breath, space in your body. And then lower your gaze towards the floor. Right hand comes down, left arm comes up, moving into your twist. Again, option, keep that hand on the lower back if that feels better for you. Allow the hand to lower down to the mat, and then let's move our way into that pigeon pose. So left foot finds its way down to the right knee, or a little bit higher, and then just pushing that leg back behind you as far as you can. Both hip bones pointing down towards the mat, and just work your way down. Again, if you don't feel that stretch so deeply, lift that left foot a little bit higher, so you really feel a nice long, big stretch in that left buttock area. And again, just play with that sensation of rolling the hip away from the knee, feeling like you're bringing the sit bones underneath you. And you stay where you are. I'm just going to come and have another look and see how everyone's doing. So remember, your hip bones are your guide. Imagine there's eyes in your hip bones and they're looking straight down at the mat. So if one of them's slightly off to the side, it's going to be looking out to what's next to you, not down at the floor. Keep breathing. And if it feels intense or you feel yourself getting uncomfortable, just keep bringing your awareness back to your breath. Try and stay nice and still through the body as much as you can, and bring your awareness inwards. And from there, walk your hands back in towards you. And your option, come back onto all fours and lift into down dog, or sweep yourself straight into down dog from your pigeon pose. And again, just enjoy the feeling of opening up the backs of the legs through your down dog. Now you should be feeling way more open now than where you did when you started. So just have a play, lengthening out through one leg, maybe a little bit more. Spread the space between your shoulders. Good. And then look into your hands. I want you to step your right foot forwards and then walk your hands back to the middle. So your feet, you'll now look along the long side of your mat. So I'm just going to go with that again, because Steve's to the side of me practicing yoga tonight. You just looked at me like, what have you just done? So step your right foot forward, walk your hands to the middle, feet are pointing forwards. So you're in a wide leg forward bend, hands on the mat, knees bent as much as you need to. Let your head be heavy. So options here, you can keep the hands on the floor. You can bring your hands to your hips if you want to. Or if you want a bit of a nice stretch through the shoulders, reach the arms up behind the back, clasp the hands, bring them over behind you. So you choose whichever option of those feels good for where you want to work this evening. So I'm going to turn sideways onto you. So again, just work with your breath. Let it be deep, easy, relaxed. And with each out breath, just feel yourself sinking forwards a little bit more. Really spread those toes wide. And imagine that breathing again. Breathing in through the soles of your feet, up through the backs of your legs. Exhale as if breath flows out over the spine and out through the crown of the head. Keep visualizing that flow. Inhale through the feet, through the legs, up over the buttocks. Exhale, relax through the spine and out through the crown of the head. Good. And then just come up halfway. Put your left hand in the middle of the mat or directly under your face, and inhale, lift the right arm. So option here again, you can keep the right hand on the lower back. That can also help to steady your hips, keep them level, or you can take the hand all the way up to the ceiling, your choice. Big stretch, big twist through the thoracic spine. Keep breathing. And then exhale, flow the right hand down, let it replace the left, and inhale, swooping the arm up. Again, option hand onto the back, or take the arm all the way up to the ceiling. Try and keep those hips nice and level. And exhale, hands come back to the mat. I'm going to come back to face you. And then just slowly walk your feet in slightly, just heel toe them in. Now, a couple of options here, because this might not be accessible for everyone this evening. I just want you to come up and bring your hands into a prayer position. Imagine you're on a horse, so you're in a horse riding stance. Okay, so if we can, we're going to try and squat to the floor from here. If that's not where you are tonight, just see how far you can go and then stop. Take a couple of breaths and then work your way down to the mat just by sitting down. If you can come all the way down, see if you can sit in a squat called Malasana. That's it. So imagine there's a weight in your bottom and the bottom's really swaying down towards the floor. If you can push your elbows into the insides of the knee. Take some nice, long, deep breaths. Keep lifting the chest, lift the heart. Trust your balance. So you've really got to root down into the heels of the feet. And then from there, just come and sit down onto your mat. And take your legs nice and wide apart. Okay. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit warm now. I think some jumpers have come off. Yeah, I can definitely see some jumpers have come off. Good. So work here with legs nice and wide apart, toes pointing up to the ceiling. Feel your sit bones again, grounding into the floor. So again, just have a sense of curling the tailbone under slightly and then lift the spine out of that space. So you're really lifting up. And then from there, just allow your left hand to drift down the inside of your left leg, okay? So this might be enough of a stretch. And your right hand come onto your hip. If you want to go a bit deeper, take the right arm up to the ceiling and the option then to take the arm all the way over towards your ear. And if you can, maybe you can catch the outside of the foot. So lots of options. You can keep the hand on the hip, arm straight up, or bring the arm over, maybe catching the foot. So both hands are on the foot. Wherever you are, just feel a really deep stretch through the right side of the body and keep rooting down through that right sit bone. Nice, long, deep breaths. And then from there, we're going to turn our gaze. So we turn to look straight down at our left leg. So just change your hand position. So maybe you've got your hands on your thighs and you're looking at your knee. Maybe you're on your shin, maybe you're on your foot. So you're just in a forward fold, but to the left leg. Good, and then from there, inhale, come all the way back up, and then bring your awareness to your right foot. So we're just going to do that on the right side. Right hand slides down the inside of the leg. Left hand to the hip, left hand up to the sky, or bring the arm all the way over. You may or may not catch the foot. Just do what feels good for you. So you can see there, my left sit bones come all the way up, so I'm cheating. You can see air if you look at the camera. So I've got to root that down and then adjust myself out the side body, okay? So just be aware of that for yourselves. Really tendency to reach over because it feels good. But if the left sit bone's pulling up, you're not getting as much of a stretch through the left side of the body. Good, and then allow your gaze to turn to look at the right knee. And again, just holding onto the thigh or to the shin, to the foot, and take some nice long deep breaths. And then inhale, slowly walking your hands back up your legs. And then bring your hands under your knees, bring the knees in. And just give yourself a hug here for a moment. Let the head drop. Just wriggle your sit bones on the mat. And then if you can, this is an option, take hold of your feet so that your arms cross and you've got hold of the outside edges of the opposite foot. And maybe you can slide the legs away from you. So just go as far as you can keep the knees together. If you can't hold there and keep the legs together, just have the legs, hands on the outside of your thighs or on the outside of your shins, and just see how far you can go into your forward fold. So this is good because it keeps you connected. It keeps that sense of ribs onto thighs. And it's like you're pulling your legs in towards you as you just gently slide the legs away from you. So again, it's another way of not cheating as you go into your forward fold. So you keep the spine nice and long and not rolling into a curved shape. Keep your shoulders relaxed, soften your eyes, and just allow your awareness to be with your breath. And then inhale, slowly curling all the way back up. And then just hold around the back of your thighs, and we're just going to slowly make our way down to the mat. So if you have taken your jumper off or something warm and you want to put it back on, do so now. And then you won't have to get up again for your relaxation. And we're just going to take our fish pose here. So we did this a few weeks ago. Excuse me. Just allow your hands to go underneath your bottom. So maybe your first finger and your thumb are touching underneath your buttocks. And then bring your awareness to your elbows. So you're going to push your elbows down into the mat and just allow the crown of your head to slide up onto the floor. So you're lifting the collarbones, lifting the chest. If you've got a high ponytail like me, this doesn't feel like a good choice right now, because I've got it sticking into the top of my head. So that wasn't good planning on my part. I recommend if you have got that, you come back down and just pull the ponytail down slightly. Keep lifting the chest up towards the ceiling. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Keep your feet active. Keep breathing. Really lift the breath into the chest, into the collarbones. Good, and then to come out slowly, just slide the chin in and the back of the head back onto the mat. And then just allow your hands to come out from underneath you and bring your knees to your chest. Give yourself a hug. Rock from side to side. And we're just going to take one last twist before we come down and relax. So the option here, you can keep your knees up or the feet up, or you can put your feet on the mat. If you keep the feet off the floor, it's going to be a bit more intense of a twist. So bring your arms out to shoulder height and just allow your knees to fall to the right and your head to turn to the left. And if you want, you can take your right hand and just rest it on top of the left knee. And just feel yourself lengthening from underneath your armpit, all the way down the side of your body, all the way down along the left side of your thigh towards your knee. Nice long deep breaths. And then inhale, bring the knees back to center. Maybe you can keep the feet on the floor if you want to. And then exhale, allow the knees to fall to the left and the head to roll to the right. And again, the option to take the right hand onto the, left hand onto the outside of that right knee. And keep breathing. Good, inhale, come back to center. And then just let the right foot find the right corner of your mat. Your left foot find the left corner of your mat. Just allow the palms to face the ceiling. The back of your head is long, your chin is tucked in. Close your eyes if you haven't already. And just take 3 long deep breaths here. So inhaling through the nose. Exhale through your mouth as you relax. Another long deep breath through your nose. Exhale through your mouth as you relax a little bit more. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through your mouth as you completely let go and relax. And then bring your awareness down to your toes. So option here, just to squeeze and scrunch the toes, bringing some tension in, just to help you connect. And then exhale, relax. Relax the toes. Bring your awareness up through the feet, through the ankles, into your shins and your calves. And again, the option here, really tense your calf muscles as much as you can. Squeezing those calf muscles if you want to. Squeeze, 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 and then relax. Bringing your awareness up through your knees to your thighs. An option here again, squeezing those leg muscles, squeeze those thighs, squeeze, 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 and relax. Bring your awareness up to your hips and your buttocks. Option again, squeeze the buttocks. Feel like you're pushing the hips up towards the ceiling, squeeze, 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 and relax and let go. Bring your awareness to your back, into your abdominal area. Feel like you're pushing your abdominal wall into the floor. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Squeeze those muscles. Exhale, relax. Allow your awareness to come up to your chest and your shoulder blades. And again, maybe feeling like you're squeezing those shoulder blades together, tensing the chest. Squeeze, 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 and relax. Bring the awareness down through your arms to your fists. Make fists with your hands. Tense your arms tight as you can. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Hold that squeezing and relax. Allow the awareness to come up through your neck and into your face. Squeeze your face, scrunch your face. as much as you can. Squeeze those eyes, your nose, your cheeks. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And relax. And just feel your whole body melting, relaxing into the mat. And just be with your breath for a few minutes while I just smile the time for you. Relax and let go. So just allow yourself to reconnect with your body, feeling your body lying on your mat. And starting to become aware of the noises inside the room that you're in or outside of the room. And then gently moving your fingers, your toes. And then just tuning into what your body needs from you now. Maybe you'd like to give yourself a hug or take a nice long stretch. Do what feels good for you. And in your own time, in your own way, if it feels good for you to sit up and join to close class, please feel free. Namaste.
Namaste, Julie. Thank you.
Hope you all have a good sleep.
Thank you, Julie.
You're very welcome.